inclusive or exclusive?
Exclusive.
We would definitely want to exclude. What is the concavity at? Oh, by the way, let me show you where this is. Wouldn't these inflection points, wouldn't it be like right about there and right about there? See how the bend changes? Right, see that bend? Very nice. That's a very narrow window right here. What about at the dots? Do you know what the concavity is at the dots?
It's neutral.
It is actually, it's not D and E. What is the concavity at those? It's actually neutral, or neutral is the same thing as zero. That's zero concavity right there. And guess what separates the worlds of concave up and concave down? Neutral concavity, just like for the first rows. Okay? Again, I throw the ball up in the air, it comes back down, but there has to be a zero somewhere. Same thing here. Okay, so please exclude, because you don't want to include zeros, you just want the negative. Okay? And that's how you do it. Not too bad, huh? Okay, D. Now this is a new phrase for us this year. I don't believe we've used this before. For what values of x is the graph in B concave up? Which is, it's kind of like intervals, but it's a little different. And where is it concave up? Wouldn't that be where we have plus signs?
Infinity and beyond.
So from negative infinity all the way up to -4, but it doesn't say intervals this time. It says right values of x. Okay, let's list every value of x from negative infinity to -4.
No.
That's going to take forever. There's a better way to do that. How do you name every number below -4?
X is less than
X is
-4.
less than -4, so you use inequalities, right? Hey, you and John both got that one. Okay? So use inequalities instead of intervals. Now look, on a test, okay, what if on a test it says do interval notation, you do this one? It's just a -1, not a big deal. What if it says for what values of x would you do intervals? It's just a -1, but try to follow the rules, okay? Now remember the union? Remember U for union?
There we go.
We have to use a word instead of the union symbol.
Or.
And it is
And.
or instead of and. Actually, your first instincts were correct. I'm impressed. Very good. Most people say and.
Or
In English, you would probably say it as and, but in math, think about it. It's going to be an or, and actually, I'll show you why. Okay. What about the rest of the numbers? Where else is it positive? When you are greater than -3. Okay. How do you express greater than -3? Well, just the way we said it, right? X is greater than -3. And the reason you don't say and, of course, is because what number is below -4 and simultaneously above -3? It's impossible. You can't have that, right? So you would just nullify your entire answer. Okay? So use or instead of union. So it's just a different way to write it, is all it is. And in calculus, I noticed that a lot of the questions, especially like on the AP exam, they ask for what values for 1 second, then the next second they turn around and ask for intervals. They want you to know both. Okay?
If it's and, don't you write it as 1 and 4?
You could, yeah, but these won't ever be and, they'll always be or. But yeah, that would join the rest. Yep. Okay? Now, one last note before we go on.
Trying to change it.
Do you know why we didn't use the 0? We just breezed right past it?
But it's a pain.
The only time you would skip around that 0 is if it was a D and E case. You cannot include it. But it was a neutral case. It was not a D and E case. Okay? So don't worry about it. All right? But watch for that on Monday. We'll do that lesson. I mean, the next time we meet. We'll update this. Okay? All right? So, it does not exist, case diagram. Okay. All right. And then the last one. Find the tangent line to this curve at x equals 0. Who remembers the 3 ingredients of a tangent line?
X,
X, Y, and B.
X, Y, and
M.
M. X, Y slope. Okay? Very nice. Good call. Not just tangent lines, any line. Right? Okay. The x is 0. Now we already have all the work on the board. Where will we go? The only place in math you go to find y coordinates. Original equation. If you put in 0 for all the x's, what's the only thing left?
2.
2, sole survivor. So put that one down. The slope always comes from what? Derivative. First derivative, yeah, not the second. First derivative. Take 0 and plug it into the derivative. What happens then?
3.
Only the 3 survives, and there's your slope. Okay? And then you take all that and you plug it into y equals m times x plus b. And what is the b term?
2.
Oh, just 2. Oh. I'm so surprised. Actually, no, I'm not. B always represents the what?
Up and down.
B is the what of the line?
Deflection.
Y
You got
intercept. Isn't 0 comma anything a y-intercept automatically? It is, so it's already there. If you ever get 0 comma number, that is your B right there. Because 0, 2 is right on the y-axis. Okay? That's the only time that happens. So you get 3x, and voila.
Yay.
That's been a good time.
So I'm here when you just start recording.
Right?
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase.